Hey, sports porchers. It's your hockey Jesus. And I'm back with Game 10 Pittsburgh Penguins at the Vancouver Canucks. Well, the Canucks wore their old school jerseys tonight. And unfortunately, it was not an old school game for your Pittsburgh Penguins. It was more of the same. Only it was a little different. And here's why. The Pittsburgh Penguins come out, look pretty good in the first period, outshoot the Vancouver Canucks 7-2 in the first 10 minutes. They get the first goal, and they start giving ground after that. The Vancouver Canucks were coming, they got some power plays, but they still didn't score because Ned was good enough to keep them at bay. So that's good. That's good. Pittsburgh Penguins, though, find a way to let Vancouver score 4 goals in the second period, and that's all you need to know. Tonight, it was the Vancouver Canucks in a 4-3 win against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And the sign says it all. It only takes 95 seconds, and that's all it really took for Vancouver tonight. In a minute and a half span, they got everything they needed, and they got 3 goals. And then they get the 4th goal, a little bit later. But, oh my, this Pittsburgh Penguins team, I even wrote it down here. I take notes on every game. Of course I do. I'm the hockey Jesus. But here, I wrote it after the first period. Why do I feel another heartbreak is about to happen? And the Pittsburgh Penguins just continue to find ways to break your heart. And look, the Vancouver Canucks have done this all year so far. They've done it 3 times where they've scored 4 goals in one period, and that's astounding, actually. So it's not like the Pittsburgh Penguins shouldn't have expected this to come. That's the way Vancouver scores. They score in waves. They come at you in waves. When you see a goal that's scored, you need to find a way to say, back off. Let's take it easy. Let's get our feet back. Let's get our skates back underneath us. But on that second goal, when Russ came down and gave it up at the blue line, and Pettersson was shooting into the zone, you can't do that, Pittsburgh Penguins. The defenseman has to be behind the puck carrier when you're up by 2 goals. It just doesn't make any sense to do that. And, that Pettersson goal, the very first Pettersson goal for Vancouver, that was a really nice goal. It was a pretty good snipe. But that Bluger pass to the rookie that got his first goal, that's where you got to draw the line. And then the one after that, the JT Miller goal, ridiculous. And then the 4th goal, are you kidding me? I just don't understand how Erik Karlsson can let Daniel Sprong just skate right around him. That's the most ridiculous thing I've seen all year, and I've seen a lot of ridiculousness from these Pittsburgh Penguins. But they took it to a new level tonight in the second period. Was anybody any good tonight? The lines got mixed up tonight. You had Bolivier playing with Rust and Gino. They actually looked good until they gave up that second goal, which to me was just a head scratcher. And unfortunately, Russ goes out in the third period with an injury, and that's probably going to be something that looks like he might get sidelined for a little while. Just what the Penguins need in a time of desperation to lose a top winger like that. When really, Russ actually got demoted tonight, moved to the second line, but he played better, honestly. Sid, they got to find somebody to play with Sid. This is the bottom line when it comes to it. They played a little bit of Gino with Sid tonight, and Gino did get in the score column in the third period. It looked like he was okay. He ran into the goal there and kind of laid after he scored the goal to make it a 1-goal game with about 5-6 minutes left. I think it was 6 minutes and some change left. Penguins did come, but they weren't able to get the game-tying goal. They did not give up an empty netter. That's why it ends up at 4-3. Where do the Pittsburgh Penguins go from here? Well, let me first talk about Vancouver. I think Vancouver is a pretty good team. Pittsburgh Penguins can play with a team like Vancouver because they're not that fast, but they are certainly talented. I mean, Brock Besser didn't even really have a great game tonight, and they still score 4 goals. That's pretty impressive. JT Miller is clearly your superstar. Hughes, defenseman, you saw tonight why he won the Norris. He's just all over the ice. Not only is he fast, but he's tough in the corners. Played a really good game against Sidney Crosby. And Crosby looks okay, but he clearly needs somebody to play with him. And right now, there's nobody to play with Sid up on that top line. That's, I think, the Pittsburgh Penguins' biggest problem right now is finding somebody to play with Sid. I thought maybe getting Rax up there. I'd put him back up there on Tuesday night against Minnesota. I think Rax and Sid can get there, but I think Raquel needs to play with Sid for at least a couple, maybe 3 or 4 games until you can say that's a bad experiment and that's not working. Drew O'Connor seems to do okay up there. I like him better on the second or third line, to be honest with you, but I might put Puljujärvi up on the first line just to try something really crazy because they got to get Sid going if they're going to make a run at this. So with this loss, the Pittsburgh Penguins are now, this really hurts to say, 3-7 on the year. If you look at the in terms of points, they're not that far behind people, but here's what you need to do. Take the points total, divide it by, 82 divided by the number of games left, multiply that by the points total, and you end up with somewhere between 57 and 58 points. I hate to tell you this, Pittsburgh Penguins fans, but 57, 58 points, that gets you a lottery pick. Maybe even a number 1 lottery pick. That's how bad the Pittsburgh Penguins are playing right now. They got to get their shit together. Hopefully they will be able to. They've got a 3-game homestand coming up. They play Minnesota. The Ducks are coming into town, and Montreal is coming into town. So those are all 3 games where you look at it, that Wild game will be crazy because we got another celebration to do. Marc-Andre Fleury's last game in Pittsburgh as an NHL goalie. Unless they make the finals and they end up playing in the finals together, but that's not looking likely. So tonight the Pittsburgh Penguins lose to the Vancouver Canucks. They move to 3-7 on the year with 7 points. And right now, they've got a lot of work to do. So, say it loud, say it proud. Let's go, Pens. I'll see you guys on Tuesday.